Welcome to episode number 163, All You Need to Know About Wearing Navy. Navy is being touted as the new black and can be your best wardrobe asset, as well as a wonderful way to boost your wardrobe for spring. With so many ways to wear it, how can you say no? However, wearing navy can be so confusing. In this episode, I answer the 5 most frequently asked questions about navy and give you all my stylist secrets. But first, is your style in need of a jumpstart? Then I have just the thing for you. Find Your Signature Style is my flagship course, and it is a culmination of everything I have been teaching my clients for 14 years. This course gives you exactly what you need to build the foundation for your style, to build your wardrobe, to learn how to love shopping, and to fall in love with your style. Whether you feel like you don't have a style, you've lost your style, or your style just needs a little bit of a jumpstart, this is exactly the course for you. Designed to give you all the elements you need in 3 simple steps. We make finding your style as easy as 1, 2, 3. Click the link in the show notes or go to findyoursignaturesstyle.com and get ready to rock your style today. Welcome to Style by Mary Michelle, a podcast designed to empower you through personal style. I'm your host, Mary Michelle Nidifer, a master style coach, founder of Style Finder Boutique, and creator of the Style Finder ID system. I'm here to help you know what to wear, how to wear it, and how to get dressed in 7 minutes or less. Let's go. Hello, beautiful. How are you? I am so excited to be here with you today, sharing some great information about wearing navy. But I want to tell you about how much black I wore, or I'm wearing this week. I know I talk so much about wearing color and how not to wear black, but I tell you what, this week I'm in New York. And when I was packing for my trip, it's funny, because I shot some videos, a couple of reels that I put on Instagram about what I was going to wear. And somebody commented when I had a video where I was wearing my ivory liquid leather jacket and a white top. And somebody said, girl, you need to be wearing black. I'm like, what? I can definitely depart from the black a little bit. But as I was putting together my color capsule to pack for my trip, I decided, okay, I'm going to wear black because it's February, it's winter, which means that, streets are going to be dirty. There might be residue of snow up there, and I don't know what to expect. So definitely wearing boots this week, and you guys are going to be listening to this while I am there. So make sure you follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be posting stories of us at the show. Big Daddy and I are heading up a few days early, and then Meredith is flying in, and we're going to the trade show, the apparel show, to do our buying for fall. And I have had fun planning my outfits. My color capsule is black and ivory with some denim, and I'm really keeping it simple. And I'm trying just to, I wish I could just take a carry-on, but with the way we're flying, it just didn't work out that way. So I am checking a bag, but I am packing minimally, and I plan to do some shopping. So stay tuned to see what I come back with, because I've got a couple purchases in mind, but I'm not sharing anything yet. But I am excited to really just be up there in the energy. It's been 3 years since I've been in New York. 3 years ago, I was there. Actually, it was January of 2020. Right before the pandemic. And it was a great trip. And I have missed it. And I swear, when I came back last time, I had COVID before anybody was talking about COVID or anybody knew what COVID was. So I am glad to be back up there and looking forward to all the energy and the excitement and the fashion. I know it's Fashion Week as I record this, and we're going to miss Fashion Week, but that's okay, because we're doing our own Fashion Week with the trade shows. It'll be a little bit different, but stay tuned, because we're going to be doing behind the scenes. I'm going to be doing some polls, and just, helping you guys get all set up for the next season. That's what it's all about. Now, if you have not heard me talking about, I've been doing a lot of lives lately over on Instagram, and I really want you to come join me at Style by Mary Michelle or at Shop Style Finder, or both, preferably. But I've been doing a lot of lives and talking about, creating a wardrobe workshop. And a lot of women have said that they want help with their spring wardrobe. So I am going to be launching, I don't have details to give you yet, but it's in the works, a spring wardrobe planning workshop. And I am looking forward to sharing all the details, because I'm just really packaging this in this beautiful way so that you can walk you through the process. It's going to be like working with me personally. And I love sharing this information with my clients. And I think to do this in a meaningful way. And it's going to be launched the beginning of March. We're going to get started. So it's going to start before spring, and it's going to continue into spring, so that as the seasons turn, because I know, honestly, here in North Carolina, the day it turns spring, it's still usually chilly. It doesn't necessarily feel like it, but I know mentally, I think we're ready to start bringing in some color, bringing in some print, some pattern. I know I'm ready for some florals and flowy dresses. Honestly, what I'm really excited about are shoes, spring shoes. Now, I love my boots, don't get me wrong, but I am chomping at the bit to wear my sandals and wear lighter shoes and floaty layers, because that's just where the fun happens. And I think with my style, I'm dramatic, romantic, and classic. That's my full Style Finder ID, which if you work with me personally, you'll get your full Style Finder ID. And I am taking a few limited private clients. So if you're interested in one of my high-level one-on-one packages, send me a DM, or better yet, click the link in the show notes and schedule a Get Acquainted call. I have loved talking with so many women lately who are interested in up-leveling their style and really getting one-on-one personal attention. And it's never too late. It's never, ever too late. I have talked with a lot of women who've said, I've wanted to do this for a very long time, and they just didn't know who to contact, or who, how to go about it. And I think when you find somebody whose style you really resonate with, who you feel really gets you, then, whether that's me or whether that's someone else, then I would say reach out and roll with it. Just go with it, because when you have somebody whose style you resonate with and whose methods and processes you resonate with, then that's going to be a good match. And that's how you know who's right for you. But if you don't resonate with something, then that's not a good match. So, and nobody is here to serve all women. So although the advice I share, I'd like to think that all women could certainly use it, but I know I'm not for everybody. So if you resonate with me, I talked with a beautiful woman the other day who told me that, she felt like I really got her and she resonated with me. And that's when it's a good fit. So, yeah. So anyway, so let's talk about navy. Let's talk about this, because navy is something that I have been asked about over and over and over the years. And I've been asked a lot of the same questions. And what we're seeing so much navy. I like to think that navy is kind of the new black for spring. And it's interesting, because if you've taken How to Find Your Signature Style, I do talk about finding your new black, finding your best colors. But the methods that I use, most people are not going to come up with navy, but navy can be a good secondary neutral. And if you decide you want to have it as your new black, now some of my clients do use it as their new black, and that's perfectly fine if it's a great color for you, which honestly, we're going to dive into that in this episode. But I wanted to talk about navy from a lot of different perspectives, because there are a lot of different questions I get asked. And I really want you to follow me on Instagram this week at Style by Mary Michelle, because I'm going to be sharing some great content on putting these principles into play, putting the answers to my questions into play, really diving in deep to some of these questions. I can't share everything I know in the podcast, and obviously it's not visual. So come join me on Instagram at Style by Mary Michelle, and, stay tuned for a lot of navy content. And if you have shopped with us, this week, we're launching some great navy pieces. Meredith's picked out some great, I know we've got some beautiful Ponte navy suiting. And as I was shooting my content, I was wearing this gorgeous navy suit from Liverpool that, it just feels so good. And it's the kind of thing that you're going to want to wear on the weekends as well as to work. And it's comfy. I love Ponte knit just for that reason, because it feels like yoga pants. And we also have some beautiful navy prints, a couple of dresses, and a lot of pieces that are going to mix and match beautifully. And so I don't know if you know, but we do a weekly drop, twice a week. We tease it on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then we drop it like it's hot on Wednesday and Friday. And tune in at 11 a.m. Eastern time, Tuesday and Thursday for the new arrivals tease. And then 3 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday and Friday for the drop. And I won't go into how it all works, but it is best if you download our app, Style Finder Boutique, because you can waitlist pre-authorize. And I don't want to overwhelm you guys, but if you have questions about how that works, you can send us a message or reach out or just watch one of our live shows. Actually, if you go to the app, download the app, you can watch a replay. And Meredith and Cam go through how the process works of waitlist pre-authorizing, and clients have loved it. And I tell you what, if you do that, you get free shipping, which is always a bonus. So plus you get first dibs, because if you don't waitlist pre-authorize something, there's a good chance you will not get it, because things go quickly and I want you to get what you want. But definitely check it out, because if you have not shopped with us before, this week is going to be all week is navy. And I know you're listening to this on a Thursday. And so I want to make sure that you go back and look at our content, look at our lives, look at all of our, even if you don't shop with us, you can go watch our live videos for Outfit Inspo, because we do some great styling and just have fun with it. So anyway, let's dive into it. Are you ready? So navy. Let's talk about navy, because navy is, it's such a classic color for spring. I think if you think about spring, you really think about pastels and brights and navy, right? Navy, it used to be, after Memorial Day, you could wear white, which now we know the rules have changed. And we actually are getting white jeans in the boutique. And I'm so excited. I'm like, it's February. It's time to bring that stuff in. And it's never too soon to start wearing white, in my opinion. But navy can be a great wardrobe asset. It's a wonderful way, especially after winter, if you've been wearing a lot of black, it's a wonderful way to really freshen your look up, to swap out some blacks for navies and give your outfit, give your wardrobe a different perspective and kind of breathe some new life in it. And so I want to help you learn how to, first of all, wear navy with confidence and just really understand how to wear it in a way that's modern. Honestly, some of the ways that I think women wear it can look a little dated or matronly, and we kind of want to give navy a makeover. Navy gets a makeover this spring. So I want you to really, take these tips to heart, take what works for you, and don't be afraid to try something new, because I think that's where all the fun happens and the magic happens. And you could certainly discover a new favorite way to wear something. All right, first question I'm going to answer. Does the shade of navy matter? Yes, it does. While you think about navy, like any color, navy or red or orange, navy has about, 3,200 different shades, and I'm just completely making that up. But my point is that there are so many different shades of navy. There is no one navy. And if you look at all the colors that are offered in Pantone or even in the Crayola crayon box, you're going to find several shades that you could essentially refer to as navy blue that are different shades. Maybe there's cornflower, maybe there's violet blue, maybe there's marine, maybe there's midnight. They all basically fall under that navy umbrella, but they're slightly different. And so when you notice what the subtleties are, then you can really start to understand how different navies will work for you with your different coloring. And so, yes, the short answer is yes, the shade of navy does matter, because some navies have more violet undertones, some have more green undertones, and knowing which ones work best will help to flatter you. And so if you ever put on a navy and it doesn't look good on you, I don't want you to walk away thinking, oh, I just can't wear navy. That's not true. You can wear navy, and all seasons have a navy. It's just finding the right navy for you. And so without diving in too deep in this, because it's not visual. I think I need to shoot a video on this. But if you have cool coloring looks best in a true navy. Now, a true navy has more violet undertones. A true navy is going to be, I would say, medium dark in color. It's not really dark. It's not as dark as, say, a midnight blue. So a true navy has more violet undertones. And if you think about what that means, if you look closely at a true navy, as opposed to a midnight, a true navy is going to it's not purple, but it's almost going to have a purpley violet undertone to it versus, say, a midnight. Now, a midnight, in my opinion, has almost a green undertone to it. And what that means, essentially, is that cooler coloring looks better in a navy that has just a hint of violet undertone. Warm skin tones look better in a navy that has more green undertones or is more in the midnight or marine family. There are differences. So I'm going to be sharing some videos on these. So I really want you to keep an eye out over on my Instagram, because I want you to be able to see the differences. And so if your coloring is cool, then you're going to look best in a true navy with violet undertones. If your coloring is warm, you're going to look best in a navy that has more green undertones and is closer to a midnight, such as marine blue. Now, the other thing I want you to think about in terms of the shade of navy, there are different shades of navy in terms of lightness and darkness. And you want to think about your personal coloring. If your personal coloring is deep and rich and you look better in deeper, richer, bolder colors, then going for a deeper shade of navy is going to be better for you. If your coloring is a little bit more light or a little bit more medium and you feel overwhelmed in a lot of dark colors, then maybe you go for a medium tone of navy. It's going to flatter you. You don't want a navy that's so dark that it overwhelms you. Now, let's talk about a neutral navy. Is there such a thing as a neutral navy? I think that there can be. I have seen navies that have worked well on women with warm coloring and on cool coloring. And so there are certain shades of navy, but I think in terms of talking about colors, it can be very confusing to point you in the right direction. And so the best way to think about it is, if you're wearing it and you feel like it looks good on you, ask yourself, how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel good? Then wear that. If it makes you feel washed out or overpowered, then maybe you find a different shade. But don't think that there is not a navy for you, because there absolutely is. All right, number 2. This is a big one. Do I need to match my navies? Ladies, this is such a loaded question. And what I'm talking about here, we're not talking about shoes yet. I'm just talking about clothes right now. Let's say you have a top and a jacket, or a top and a dress, and they're both in navy and you want to try to wear them both. Do they need to match? Well, that can be a loaded question, because in essence, you can mix navies. However, here's the rule of thumb. If you are wearing 2 navies that are not the same, that do not match, then what you want to do is you want it to look purposeful. If your navies do match, great. If you're wearing a suit and it matches, perfect. If you're wearing a jacket and a top and you're trying to create a tonal look, which is a great look, by the way, one great way to do that is maybe wear a darker jacket and then wear a shirt that's in a lighter navy. And you want to make sure that your navies relate, meaning wear two navies that have violet undertones or two navies that have green undertones. Don't wear one mixed with the other. Rarely does that work. Now, when I was shooting some content, I paired one of our new Liverpool Ponte blazers in a darker navy. Now, I think it's a pretty neutral navy. Or if I had to pick one, I would say it's got more violet undertones. I paired that blazer with a dress that's in a lighter navy. And they looked great together. But here's the kicker. Here's what you want to make sure you do. You want to make sure if you're mixing navies that are not the same, that there is a contrast. You don't want navies that are just one step away from each other, because then it looks like, well, you tried to match them, but they didn't quite match, and it's going to look weird. But if you have two navies that are a couple of different shades apart from each other, and it's obvious that one is lighter and one is darker, that can work well. And that's how it looks a little bit more purposeful. It creates a tonal look, which can be very understated and very flattering. But if you try to mix two together that are just not quite the same, it looks like a match gone wrong. So if they don't match, but they're super close to each other, I would say avoid that. That's not going to work. All right, question number 3. Can I mix navy and black? Yes, you can. Mixing navy and black is actually a combination that came down the runways, 6, 7, 8 years ago, maybe even longer. And it's something that, this trend really started in Europe. We started seeing a lot of European designers mix navy and black. And it actually is a very nice look. It is a very sleek, modern, elegant, chic, sophisticated look that when it's done right, it really works. And I love the look personally, but you have to really feel it. Some women tell me, I would never mix navy and black. And if you know that would never work for you, then, well, maybe you give it a shot anyway and just double check. Do I like this on me? No, I was right all along. Okay, or maybe you say, well, maybe this could work. No, it's not for everybody. It is a little bit more of a modern, contemporary, edgy look. However, it can definitely work for the right person, but you have to feel it. It has to feel like you. And so, in short, you can mix navy and black. However, this look is not for everybody. If it feels great on you, go for it. But if it doesn't, trust that. All right, question number 4. What color do I wear with navy? Well, if navy is going to be the new black, then let's explore. What could you mix it with? I have 3 categories. The first one is neutrals. Now, some of my favorite neutrals to pair with navy include camel. Camel and navy is just beautiful. Now, we just talked about black, so of course, black is a possibility, but camel and navy, especially if you're a blonde, camel and navy is just elegant, sophisticated, and can look very, very nice. You can also mix ivory or white. Navy and white is such a classic. I think it's a classic Southern combination. But navy and white can also be very nautical. It can be very classic. Navy and white stripes are a great combination, but navy and white is always chic. But navy and ivory can be really, really beautiful together. Navy and gray can work well together, especially if you have gray hair. Try mixing navy and gray and see how beautiful that can be. We actually had some pants in the boutique years ago, and they were some pants from Crazy Larry. They were a gray and navy diamond print. And one of our girls, Julie, who had salt and pepper hair at the time, she had these pants on. And oh my God, the navy and gray just worked so beautifully with her hair. And it was truly a stunning effect on her. So that was just a gorgeous combination. But those are some of my favorite neutrals to pair with navy: camel, ivory, or gray. Now, pastels, especially ladies, this could be worldwide, but I think especially if you're in the South, pastels are so beautiful with navy. And I think about, for Easter, but certainly all spring long. But think about navy paired with mint, with lavender, with seafoam, with light pink. I think about my former preppy days. I used to love to wear my navy pants with my hot pink shirt. But I also think about, a lot of golf attire. If you think about men, they look great in a great pair of navy pants with maybe a lavender or pale pink polo shirt or button down. And it's a great look for men or for women. And just can be very fresh. I think sometimes the way you wear navy in such a springy way for spring, it just looks very fresh. It's very different from the way you'd wear it in the fall or winter and just really puts a fresh spin on it. I also love navy with brights. Navy mixed with magenta or hot pink, which, magenta is the color of the year this year. And so if you want a new way to wear it, navy is your new black. Magenta is the color of the year. Why not? Or what about orchid? Orchid is, it's just a little bit different from magenta, but it's got more purple undertones. It's a pinky purple. And that with navy is amazing. Kelly green, that's a very, very classic combination. Navy and Kelly green. Or coral. I know that's such a beautiful combination. I think about my mother-in-law. I think she's got some navy and coral pieces, and they look beautiful on her. But I think if you wear coral well, coral is not something that works very well on those with cool coloring. I don't wear coral. I love it though. But if your tones are more warm, then try wearing coral mixed with navy. Or what about a bright sunshiny yellow? Maybe a yellow that's got a little bit of orange undertones to it, or just a really vibrant sunshine yellow. That mixed with navy would be so beautiful. But think about doing it something unexpected, because navy can act as a neutral, and it's a great backdrop against a beautiful bright. All right, number 5, the question everybody has been asking: what shoes do I wear with navy? Oh my gosh, ladies, this is like the $1 million question, right? Okay, here is the answer you all have been waiting for. First of all, you do not wear navy shoes with your navy. Now, I'm not saying you can't ever wear navy shoes, but I remember when I first started style coaching, so many women who would buy navy would want to go shopping for navy shoes that match their outfit. And I'm like, girl, first of all, finding a navy shoe that's going to match exactly to what you want to wear is practically impossible. And second of all, it looks dated and it looks very matronly. Do not do it. I highly, highly recommend that you do not do it. There is a better alternative. And you want to know what that is? Neutrals. Hello, neutrals. I love neutrals paired with navy. And I know that might be something to wrap your mind around, but I tell you what, if you try it, you are going to absolutely love how it looks. When I was creating my content for the navy this week, then I was wearing some of my favorite taupe booties. They're sort of a taupey, mushroomy color, so neutral, and they looked gorgeous with this navy suit and all the navy pieces, because it wasn't about the shoes. The shoes just kind of blended in, and they were just very subtle, very, they weren't standing out, which was great. So let's say you're wearing a short navy dress and you've got on navy shoes. Well, it chops you up, because your navy skirt or dress that is knee length or mid calf is going to be, medium to dark. And then you've got your legs. And if you have light skin, then it's going to be a harsh contrast against the navy. And then you've got the dark shoes. It's going to make you look shorter and not very attractive. If you have dark skin, the effect will be a lot different and might actually be more flattering. But if you have light skin, then I would say go for a neutral shoe. And by neutral, I mean taupe, tan, camel, or even a metallic. That's right, I said a metallic. And I don't mean a bright metallic, I mean a muted, understated, like a brushed, soft suede metallic gold sandal. And I have some. I have had soft metallic sandals for years because I love them. Pewter, gold, you name it. But I love my metallic sandals because they go with everything. But even if it's not a sandal, you could do a bootie, you could do a pump, you could do a wedge. Wedges are really making a comeback this season. So wedges, kitten heels, and angled heels. So think about what you could wear that would be in the neutral family or in the metallic family, because it is a fresh, modern spin on your navy. And if you're still trying to match your navy shoes with your navy outfit, don't do it. It just looks dated. It looks very aging. And it does not look fresh and modern. It looks old and frumpy. And I don't want you to look old and frumpy because you're not. You're fabulous. You got to dress for it. I want you to wear things that light you up, that lift you up, that help you feel amazing. So no more navy shoes. All right, let's go back through those 5 questions. So I posted them as questions because I wanted to answer your frequently asked questions. Question number 1, does the shade of navy matter? Question number 2, do I need to match my navies? Question number 3, can I mix navy and black? Question number 4, what color do I wear with navy? And question number 5, what shoes do I wear with navy? Now, you ladies have absolutely loved my printout from last week's episode about closet offenders, the top 10 closet offenders. And I have had so many of you loving that printout. So I'm going to do a printout for you this week for top 5 ways to wear navy. And so I want you to come over and join me in the Style by Mary Michelle podcast group on Facebook. Come join me over there, and then you could print it out for free. I want you to have this. I know so many of you have been telling me that you have a binder where you take notes, where you print all my printouts, and you keep track of all your style information. And I love that. I think everybody should have their own style journal, their style notebook, and really just, take this learning as deep as possible. Print it out, take notes on there, and really go on your own little journey. And then come join me when I make the announcement next week about our spring wardrobe planning workshop. I want you to be a part of it. I want to walk you through how to get dressed this spring. And I tell you what, the tips I'm going to be teaching, you can use those for spring, for summer, for fall, for packing for a trip, for anything. It's really going to be setting you up for success and getting you on the right path. So whether you have been keeping up with your style and you just want to make some tweaks and keep it fresh, or whether you feel like your style needs a whole jump start. So come on and join me, because I'm going to be walking you through this process. It's going to be right for everybody. You'll work at your own pace, you'll go at your own level, and everybody's at a different level. Everybody's at a different point in their journey. So wherever you are, come join us. It's going to be so much fun. I will be making that announcement next week, and we'll have all the details for you. But I want to make sure that you're on the lookout, because you do not want to miss this. It's going to whip your wardrobe into shape, get your style looking on point, and set you up for success for all spring, all summer. And I know you've probably got trips planned, weddings, all sorts of events. And I know my spring is looking jam-packed, especially with travel. And I cannot wait. So I want to make sure that you're looking good. I'm going to be sharing my behind the scenes tips and keep you on your style toes, right? So, all right, ladies, and thank you so much. Now if you have not heard, I am running a contest or a giveaway, I should say. And I'm going to be giving away some Style Finder card cash. And I want to give some to you. I'm going to be choosing several women to win $25 of Style Finder card cash. And all you need to do is go leave me a podcast review on iTunes. Go leave me a review and make sure that you send me a message or that I have a way to contact you. Don't put your contact information in your review because that's public and I don't want anybody reaching out. But come send me a message over in the Style by Mary Michelle podcast group. Come comment on my post over there and let me know what your name is and how I can get up with you. So, because I want to make sure if you win that I can get in touch with you. But come over there and tell me which episode was your favorite. Tell me how you've enjoyed the podcast, what you love hearing, and what you'd like to hear more of, because I am here for you. All right, ladies, I hope you love this episode, and I will see you next week. I love you, ladies, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to Style by Mary Michelle, where women come to get dressed in 7 minutes or less. If you enjoyed this podcast, I invite you to leave me a 5-star review on iTunes or wherever you're listening. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Style by Mary Michelle and shop our boutique at shopstylefinder.com for the best in upscale casual apparel. Better yet, if you're in the Raleigh area, come see us. We're located in the North Hills Shopping Center, the premier shopping district in Midtown Raleigh. For details and links mentioned in this episode, be sure to see the show notes. Have a beautiful week.